Hi, beautiful souls. Sorry about that. I was having technical difficulties. So, welcome to my channel. My name is Sadhana, and today I am here doing a live readings. This is not something that I do very often, and I was on earlier today. So, you may have heard me mention the Oracle, which is a metaphysical store in Seashell, British Columbia. There's also a location in West Vancouver. And from time to time, I do readings physically in the store. And the Oracle, which also has a Facebook page. I restarted again to end. So the store, I was just talking about the store where I do live readings. So I was on earlier today for the Oracle, and there was 4 of us doing a panel, and I've never done a reading with a, hi Chantel, I've never done a panel readings before, and that was really, really cool because we got to kind of feed off each other and bring clarity to what the other reader was bringing in. So that was really fun. Yeah. So I'm here. I really feel, and this morning I wanted to come on earlier, and I saw Becca was on, and I don't really like to step on other people's feet. Hi, Jen. And, it's nice if we can all come on one at a time. It would be really nice if there was a Tarot Tube live feed schedule. So, we didn't. Hi, Sacred Turtle. Tony. I'll try to remember your name. You know what I mean? Wouldn't that be nice if there was some kind of Tarot Tube schedule? And I've tried to figure it out. And of course, we're going across time zones and we don't all follow the same people, but it would be really helpful. So so this is kind of impromptu. I decided this morning I was going to do this. So here I am. I'm going to be on for about an hour. And I'm going to do about a 3-card reading per person. And we'll just kind of see how that goes. And as always with readings, I really, when it's your turn, if I'm going to just take a moment to get you to really kind of focus on what it is that you want clarity on. I don't really have any rules about the kind of questions that you can ask. I'm here and I'll try to get you to the root of your question so that we can work through that. So so let's go. So who wants a reading and what do you want to know? Welcome, Carrie. I don't think I've seen you before. Carrie Dompier. Nice to have you here. Chantel says, what messages does my spirit team want me to know about my love life? Okay, Chantel. Chantel, love life. All right, so Chantel, can you just take a moment and just take a few deep breaths? Yeah, I want you, might sound really bizarre. Can you just really feel yourself, like touch your skin, touch your hands, hold your hands. And I want, the message for you is to really be with yourself, to be with you and be comfortable in your skin. Does this make any sense? That might mean actually getting outside, like, odd. Sometimes the things that come through are quite odd. I'm shuffling the Way Home Tarot. You know what this looks like to me? It looks like getting up early and going out to see the sunrise. Like finding some sacred space and some sacred time and getting up and going out and embracing the sunrise, and just to like to be with spirit, to be in that energy. The Six of Wands is such a beautiful, let's see if we can create a story here. And so why that might be so important is the next card is the Ten of Swords, and I'll show the cards in a moment. Is there's a bunch of, it looks like a bunch of garbage, actually, a bunch of crap that needs to be released, that needs to be digested. And I want to say, ooh, that's a nice card to get. Son of Cups is a third card. Something is not quite digested. In order for you to move forward and to kind of move and step into the next part of your journey of this, with this particular love life, with this relationship that you're exploring, with this situation that you're in. And the reason I'm going here is because I've really found, if we can go to the actual images on the cards and allow the cards to tell a story, there is this piece, this nugget that is really important that can come through. And so Jen, I will do your question after Carrie's. I'll try to keep track of how these questions come up. So Chantel, so there's something about creating this sacred space. And within this sacred space, it is really important for you to figure out the piece that you haven't let go of. The Ten of Swords is that saturation of the mind, and it's that final willingness to let go of that being in control. There's that piece as well too. But like I said, I'm actually looking at this undigested piece, and I want you to kind of contemplate those words. What is not quite digested? And how can you digest it? How can you get through that piece so that you can move on to the next bit? This Son of Cups energy is just so lovely. It's so peaceful, and it's so harmonious. And it feels like this real beautiful interaction. And we have these two cards, like the Son of Cups is looking at this Six of Wands, and it feels extremely harmonious. And so it doesn't feel like you have a lot of work to do, but there's this piece that you need to still release so that you can feel the passion. And I asked you about touching your skin, right? And so there's something about getting in touch with your physical body. Get to know your physical body again, the actual, that bit, so that you can feel again. Have you not been feeling lately? That's something. Are you not feeling? Are you feeling like deadened? Are you feeling like you can't feel? And so I think this bit about creating sacred space and to get up and go see the sunrise is about that. It's about learning to feel again, and to being brave enough to feel again, because there's something about the bravery, this Ten of Swords. There's this piece that I really feel is going to take quite a bit of strength to let go of, and then, allow the emotions to rush in. All right. So I hope that's of some help to you. I'm going to show you all three cards before I go on to the next reading, so you can see this kind of unfolding story here. I absolutely love the image on this Six, and it feels like this is the most important message for you, is to get out and to see the sunrise, to move toward the light. All right. So, okay. So Carrie, I'm going to go back to Carrie. And I'm just going to scroll back because Carrie was asking about somebody. So Amy's here. Nice to see you, Amy, and Tony, Carrie, where's your question? Carrie, what guidance with Sammy? Okay. Carrie wanted guidance with Sammy. I think this is the deck today. I've got, I have a few other decks on the table. We'll just see how that feels. So Carrie, again, can you just take a breath or two? What is the nugget? What is the most important thing that you need to know about the situation with Sammy? You know, these are not easy times by any means, and the cards are kind of reflecting that. The riffle shuffling is kind of rough. Yeah, take a couple of deep breaths. Okay, Carrie and Sammy. Hi, DM. I'll get to you next. Thank you for the super chat. Okay. So it might just be that you are the one who's going to have to take the next step. You are the one that's going to have to act. This is really interesting because interesting/beautiful. It feels like there might be a sense of security and safety in not making a move, in not stepping forward, in not moving to the next step. There might be some sense of protection. There's a sense of enclosure. There's a sense of not ruffling feathers. But it feels like you are the one who's going to have to take action to move toward a kind of fulfillment. The cards I'm looking at are the Two of Wands, the Four of Pentacles, and the Universe. And it's really interesting because the Four of Pentacles was in the middle. The first card is the Two of Wands. And so there is this real sense of home and safety in the home. Are you trying to create, Carrie, are you trying to create a home with Sammy? Are you trying to create space with Sammy? Thanks for keeping track, Jen. I really appreciate it. Because it feels like you should be moving in with Sammy. Like it feels like this is the opportune time to create that kind of sense of, and it's your decision. Like you are the one to make the decision. Oh, trying to save her from the darkness. Okay. Well, okay, so the first thing, so I'm going to just kind of switch hats here so that she's your daughter. Okay. So that kind of shifts things up here. So this providing the security and the safe space in your home, providing the shelter and the comfort and the protection is what is going to give her the freedom to move through what she needs to move through. So creating the space for her within that, in the safety of your home. I don't know how old she is, but it feels like this first card is one of really, you stepping forth to do something. I'm going to pull one card for clarification here. Okay. It's the wheel. And in this deck, it feels very light. It feels very optimistic. And that in the language of your question and what you said is like trying to save her from the darkness. It's not, you can't save her. She needs to be on her path. She needs to know and to see that you are with her, holding her hand on her path. And maybe that's what you create through this Four of Pentacles kind of energy. However, that is all you can do, is hold her hand, hold her metaphorical hand, and be on this path with her. And if there's something that you can share with her, something that you can teach with her, let her know that embracing the whole idea of change, the universe, having the universe here and then pulling the Wheel of Fortune card tells me a couple of things. One is that, yes, you are right. This is a really big, significant time for her, a very significant time for her. And you are right to pay attention, and you are right to ask about this. You're right to seek clarification. And the best thing you can do with her is to try to keep her closer to the center of the wheel. So how can you help make the changes, make the transitions less traumatic for her? So you can help to lessen the waves. Instead of her experiencing the changes like this, what can you do to make it to even it out a little bit? And to get her to understand that these changes are for her greater good. Hi, Tamsin, nice to see you back again. And to really to be with her feelings and to be through this change. Does that help at all? But I think pulling two major cards here it's right for you to be concerned, and it's right for you to step in as the mother and to let her know with, in whatever way you can, that you've got her and you're here to support her and you're here to protect whatever safe space you can for her. Okay. So if you just want to take a snapshot of these four cards. There you go. All right. Always hard when people are going through that. So I'm looking at Jen's notes here. So DM is next. So DM asked, is TH speaking or reconnecting with his exes? Okay, I'm just going to switch this up. Actually, I'm going to switch this up. So hi, DM. Is DM reconnecting with his exes? So when you ask a yes or no question, I can simply answer yes or no. But if you want to go a little deeper and go into the energy of that, so I'm just going to expand on the question, and it's entirely up to you whether you want to go there. So is he connecting with his exes? So what is coming through for me is that there's something about your relationship with him that is either too intimidating, or it feels very, very fiery. Feels very, very fiery. Maybe there's something about your relationship with him. What do I want to say? It feels, something about the exes feels safer. Potentially, okay? I haven't answered the yes or no question yet. But when you're asking this kind of question, you are suspecting that he is. And so we want to look at the energy around, what is the energy around your relationship with him that's bringing up this question in the first place? Okay? What is the energy around your relationship with him that is bringing up this question in the first place. Okay? And then, is he or isn't he? Okay? It's hard, isn't it? Relationships are so hard. And then DM, I don't know if you've ever seen me teach or do readings before. The other piece, which is really, really important, right? So your relationship with TH is reflecting something back to you, something about your soul, something about within you. So he is showing you something that you within yourself need to pay attention to. And that can be really, really hard. That can be really, really hard. Okay. That's really interesting. So I'm using the Lily White Tarot, and this is the 9 of Cups that's come up. I've got 2 questions for you. One is, are you kind of hoping that he's connecting with his exes? Is that something you wished for? Is that something that you've been putting so much energy into that, you know, that old adage, be careful what you wish for? Be careful what you fuel. Like, if you've been putting energy into this, so much energy that you've like actually created this story and brought this story to reality. The other thing about this image is that like there's this person, there's this really strong energy in the center of the card, and everybody's attracted to this. It's almost like the Queen of Wands energy. And everybody is like coming together around this really charismatic person. High Priestess. 2 of Pentacles. Okay, so 2 and 2. So first of all, trust your intuition. Okay. So what you are feeling is probably correct, but I am not picking up on infidelity here. I'm picking up on a very balanced, not balanced, but the energy of bringing your relationship into balance. This 2 of Pentacles here feels like work. It feels like the relationship needs more attention. And attention, bringing the attention back into the reading, not to the reading, bringing the attention back into the relationship. Like, instead of distracting yourself and focusing on, is he fooling around with so-and-so, or is he meeting up with his exes? Maybe his exes are actually helping him to work through the challenging aspects of his relationship with you. It might not be infidelity. It might just be that he's really comfortable talking to them about something he can't talk about with you. So I would invite this focus into the relationship. And this card feels so beautiful, DM. So I'm not exactly sure where the source of your stress and your anxiety is coming from. So what I'm going to leave you with, I pulled another card for clarification, but that's not helping me at all. So to physically and actively move forward into an activity, into doing something so that the 2 of you can, I got it, like the teeter-totter kind of image. So the 2 of you can work together on this relationship. So instead of you being the one who's only inquiring into the relationship, invite him into this conversation, or invite her into this conversation. It feels like there's something that you could do. The high priestess is very much in her mind, and she's on her own. So it's like this summoning forth that needs to happen, like come like cooking cooking a beautiful dinner, and rekindling that energy and having him over. Like bring in your magic, like really do something like that. Yeah. I'm sorry, I don't have anything else for you at this moment other than to really look at this image. And if this is a self-confidence thing for you, and if you are that Queen of Wands in the center with all that charisma and those people dancing around you, know that's really, it's a self-esteem issue within yourself. Okay. Thank you. Okay, RB. I'm going to try to find RB's question. I don't know if I have RB's question. RB. Okay. Oh, I've already done RB, perhaps. Okay. So who's next then? Masha. And I know Masha asked about donations. So Masha, you can go to the links that are below. Okay. So Masha, have you posted your question? Just looking for Masha's question. How do I note via super chat, lovelies? Anyone knows? So you click on the $ below, and then you can donate that way. You can do it by Ko-fi later. Okay, so I don't see Masha's question. Okay, so Masha, I will come back to you. And AP, do we have AP's question? Masha's question is above. Okay. Masha's question is above. I see Jen, you are the best. That's all right. I'll do it later by Ko-fi. How do I donate? Okay, my question. What area of my life shall I focus on to further heal? Okay. All right, Masha, nice to have you here today. So can I just get you to just center yourself? Go ahead and close your eyes and take a couple of deep breaths. And if I miss anybody today, I'm sorry. Sometimes it's hard to navigate through the chat and to manage all this. And thanks for Jen. Thanks to Jen for being here. All right. What area of my life shall I focus on to further heal? Your body. Your body. Full acceptance of you exactly as you are. Got the Two of Pentacles as well too. And then another earthy card, the Knight of Earth. 3 Pentacles. So this is either about your physical body, or this is about reconnecting to actually to the mother, to Mother Earth, and to starting a garden. I'm looking out the window here. My two daughters are actually digging a garden in front of me as I'm doing these readings. Getting your hands dirty, getting connection with the earth. Maybe this is about cooking. Maybe this is about starting to cook again. Maybe this is about, getting some real wholesome meal plans together and to really bringing your family together through food. Maybe this is about cooking with your family. Maybe this is about exercising. This feels like, but the first part I said was to really embrace yourself exactly as you are, and to not want to love yourself as you are. And when I think of the Nine of Pentacles in its many, so that was the first card that came up. When I think of the Nine of Pentacles in many different decks and the whole energy of that card, there's this piece about me and about who I am. Okay, so the further healing can be done with right relationship to your inner Gaia, to your inner self. And I would really focus on the element of the earth itself. So gardening and wholesome cooking feels really good right now. I'm at an alkaline yogic cleanse. Okay. So as you move through that cleanse, even if you can't do like heavy gardening, this means about creating your own herb garden. Anything, lots of things can grow inside. And so to bring that in as well too. And there's something about, touching the seeds and the dirt with your hands yourself that will really, you'll really benefit from. So stay on that focus. Okay. Hi, Laura. Nice to see you. And sorry if I've missed anybody coming in. Okay, so where are we? Ange. Okay, Jen, we are Masha. AP. I believe AP is next. All right, so AP, where is your question? RB now. Okay. Oh, RB says RB now. So I just need to find RB's question. I'm going to scroll back and see if I can see RB's question. All right. RB. All right. How do I get motivated to write? All right. How do I get motivated to write? Okay. Right. Okay. So, RB, I want you to think about your hands. Think about your hands as connection to your heart space. The hands are the extension of the heart. We give, we receive, we cling too tight, we hold, we hug. And just kind of close your eyes and place your hands on your heart. And there's an extension. There's something that will come through the hands if you allow the heart to be clearer, to be freer. So the question is about, oh my goodness, I'm getting this real pain in my heart. To allow yourself to write about that pain, the grief that you feel in your heart. And so maybe the reason you haven't been able to write is because you feel that the grief has just been too much, right? The grief has been overwhelming. And so that if you can allow the grief to be your muse, then it may just very well flow. But let's have a look and see what the cards have to say. And I'm going to pull an oracle card for you as well, too. So nourish your heart, RB. Really nourish your heart. Make sure that you are eating heart-rich foods. Like, make sure you're getting out to walk. Allow your heart. You want to have your heart, feel your heart beat. You don't want to suppress, right? You want to keep the energy moving. Okay, so let's see what we've got for an oracle card. Ooh, reaching for the stars, reaching for the moon. The keyword on this card is responsibility, but I really feel like this is like, you know what this feels like to me? Like this is go big. Go big. And isn't this like the moon is still going to be brilliant, beautiful tonight? Maybe your inspiration will come from that. And when I'm looking at lunar inspiration, I'm thinking about the hard stuff. The stuff you don't want to write about. And so your inspiration, your motivation is going to come from the really, really sticky stuff. Okay. Is that you judging yourself? Or have you had an environment around you, you know, that is judging you? Wow. Okay. Ooh. Okay. I've got Father of Swords, Eight of Wands, Father of Cups. And so this feels to me like something needs to blow. Something needs to burst and blow. It feels like perhaps you've been controlled. Like you feel a lot of, like to pull two kings feels like a lot of controlling energy. Father of Cups, Father of Swords. It almost feels like you're between this. Whoa. It's a very heavy, domineering kind of energy. And it feels like this, just the way I laid the cards on the table, that this Eight of Wands is an explosion of energy. It feels almost like a Tower card. And look how these two cards kind of have a similar, if I turn this one upside down, have a similar kind of energy. So your motivation is going to be through an energetic connection, but it almost feels like you need to get angry. You need to let go of this stuff that you've been holding back. You know, like allow it to burst forth. I talked about your heart. I talked about your hands. It's like something needs to just go rah. And so maybe, you know, you need to go out and actually howl at the moon. Maybe you need to go and tonight under the full moon, actually have a fire and to throw into the fire, you know, all that stuff that you need to release. And so, sorry, I'm just rolling with this. And so this something needs to like burst out of you, like seriously bust out. This Eight of Wands is so dynamic in this. And I said it felt like a tower. And when I'm thinking of that tower energy, it's like this has been brewing for a long time. And it feels like your nervous system is going to be fried. You know, you're going to, if you don't let yourself deal with these emotions, right? I was talking about heart, hands, writing about the grief, writing about this, you are going to, you know, get sick. And I'm not predicting that you're going to get sick, but I'm saying that the motivation for writing about the hard stuff is so that you can move through this as soon as possible. Okay, I have no idea if I'm on track with you, but you can Let me know if that resonates at all, RB. Hi, Natalia. Nice to see you. RB, I can write poetry when it flows. It's great. Full moon, pink moon. So yeah, go deep, go really deep. Okay. I'm going to scroll back and see where I'm at with that when Jen did that one. Updated list, RB, and then Ange. Okay. So Ange, let me find your question. Okay. All right. Ange. All right. Ange, where are you? Ange said, beautiful cards. I was seeing someone for 4 years, long distance, where he traveled to see me, and all of a sudden he stopped all contacts, wondering what happened for closure and to move on. Those situations can be so difficult. I know, I feel. I really do. I really feel when that kind of thing happens. Okay, 4 years and then he disappeared. You know, I feel like sometimes there is something that and I was saying this earlier to one of the other readings. Sometimes people aren't ready for a relationship. I think I was talking to DM. I think it was DM's message. And sometimes there's something about a relationship that is just too much, and it's not a judgment about you by any means. And I am talking to Ange right now. It's just that the person doesn't know how to be in that relationship, or there's something about that relationship that it strikes. It's like it's struck a chord. There's something about it that they just can't deal with. It's just, it's too much. They don't know how. And it's not you. They don't know how. It's just, they're not capable. They're not capable of it. Okay. So Ange, big breath in. Big breath out. What happened? What happened? Let's see if we can paint a story here. Really interesting. So I have the Fool, and the Fool is moving to the past. The Fool is moving out of the reading, looking for something else. So I have the Fool, I have the High Priestess, and I have the Ten of Cups. And it's almost like you could have had it all, or you felt like you could have had it all. You could have had a potent, meaningful relationship, but he just kind of wandered off and got distracted. And I kind of see this High Priestess card as you, as the one who's trying to... Isn't that interesting? Like, I've pulled, well, two High Priestesses. So he's the Fool and you're the High Priestess. And so how can the Fool be in relationship with the High Priestess? I'm sensing that he was on a journey. He was on a journey and he wasn't prepared to stop. He wasn't prepared to put his feet down. That's the Oracle card. I'll show you the tarot cards in a second. And so if you look at that third eye in the Oracle card and you look at the High Priestess, who's called the Seer in this deck, and she's very connected. She's very much in her craft. And so, and I think the honest truth was that this person wasn't capable of being in a relationship. And what I've got him moving away from, right, is the 10 of Cups. And so I have to put that in the opposite direction. Sorry, the Fool, is moving away from the 10 of Cups, from all this beauty. And so what you perceived as the potential of the relationship perhaps could have come to fruition, but he was not capable. He was not ready. He was not in a place in his life where he was, and didn't I say that before I pulled the cards? He was not able to take that on at this time. And so I think the answer is nothing happened. He was just in a completely different place than you were. And maybe he didn't articulate that to you honestly, because as the Fool, he doesn't know where he is. He doesn't know where he was going. He doesn't know which direction he was, in. And the Fool, being at the beginning of a journey, probably isn't ready to settle down. Oh, that's kind of... Sometimes that's kind of hard to take that. Okay, so Aisha and Masha, we did Masha, AP. I don't know if I've done AP. And Aisha, let's go back up here. Okay. All right, so hello, people that are still coming in. I see lots of retracted messages. If there is, so I see Aisha, hello, maybe I added to the list, post your question, and I'm going down to find her question. All right. Princess Nee, hello. All right, I don't see Aisha's question. Oh my goodness. There we go. What will happen with my connections with Evan? And Evan is a Leo. All right. Evan is a Leo. All right, Aisha. It's always about love, isn't it? It's always about love. Evan. So Aisha, just again, focus internally. Take a big breath in and out. Hmm. My heart kind of hurts. Sadhana, I've asked everyone to repost when it is their turn to make it easier for you. Thank you. My heart hurts a lot. Whew. I want to ask you to breathe. I want to invite you to breathe. I really do. I want to invite you to breathe and to just kind of pause for a moment. So your question was sorry, I'm laughing because my answer is feed him. Make dinner for him. Feed him a lot. You're welcome, Ange. So Aisha, what will happen with my connections with Leo? It looks like you are very emotional and he is in his head. And so in order to reach him, you may have to reach that more mental side of him. And that mental side may be, usually it's more intellectual, but he feels relatively, can I say this, immature to where you are at. Like you are fully ready to be in a relationship and he may not be. Is he several years younger than you are? Or many years younger than you are? It might also feel like he's dangerous, a little exciting. It might feel like he's a little exciting. No, he's 5 years older than you are. Ooh. Okay. So your question is, how can you reach him? All right. So I want to go back. Feed him. Sounds so weird because this is the first card that came up. I've got food all over in front of me. Nutritious, healthy food. Nutritious, healthy food. Okay, so I'm going to stick with that. I want you to reach him on a more intellectual level rather than an emotional level. And laugh out loud. I feel like the older one compared to him. Yes, you are definitely more emotionally mature. I'm looking at the Queen of Cups here, a very beautiful Queen of Cups who is so together. And so the energy around him is the Son of Swords. And these pictures are in silhouette, so I can't know exactly which way he's looking, but he is looking at the food and he's looking away from the emotions. So in order to kind of go to the next step with him, you may have to meet him where he is at and to back off on all of the watery stuff for a period of time. Yeah, you can contact me for a personal, but you know what I mean? Like when water and air are trying to connect, it can end up like a tornado, or it can end up to be something really beautiful, but it needs to be handled with care, and you have the skills to handle it. You just need to find a way to move into that. And if he is a Leo, you need to find out what his ascending and what his moon are, because usually this is not the characteristic of of a dominant Leo. So I would definitely find out what his rising sign is. Okay, so less emotional, more intellect. Exactly. Okay, so maybe reach him through a book, but not a romantic novel. You know what I mean? Like historical fiction. Watch some historical dramas together, that kind of thing. Like reach out to him through that kind of thing. I think you're kind of going, understand the path that I'm talking about. Yeah. But I think this is funny, right? Leos love food. They love parties. They love entertainment, and they love to be, they love that kind of lavishness, this lavish dinner kind of thing, right? So, yeah. Okay. All right. So, thank you. All right. So, Aisha, Laura, Princess Natalia, and then Liberius. All right. So, let's find Laura's question. I'm going to scroll down and see if I can see it. All right, you're welcome. Laura, where's your question? Okay. So Laura, Princess Natalia, and Liberius. Whoever's question I see first, I'm going to answer. Laura, Princess Natalia, Liberius. All right. AP now. Okay. Be really nice if it was easier to find these questions. Okay, I'm going to try to find AP. Am I next? All right, AP, what is coming for me in love? All right, AP, what is coming for you in love? I'm going to go back to Lily White. Love. It's funny, even in this environment that we're in with all this isolation, this reminds me, that scene in Eat, Pray, Love? Well, it's in the book too, whether you've read the book or watched the movie. And in the movie, Julia Roberts, she's talking about her friend who is a social worker, and she has this really horrible job. She's working with all these boat people, and she's trying to help them through their trauma, their refugee experience. And they don't want to talk about the hard stuff. They just want to talk about their love life. They want to talk about the guy they met on the boat that took off with their cousin and all this kind of stuff. And so amid all that we are going through right now, nothing ever changes. It's always about love. And it is. And it should be, right? Love is it's so healing. It's so healing. And so here's a message for everybody listening right now. This is a really important message. And that is you right now, AP included, to love yourself unconditionally. Unconditionally. So, whether that is the chin hair that you didn't see when you went out in the morning and came back at the end of the day, or the spinach that was in your tooth that somebody didn't tell you about when you were talking to somebody who you wanted to impress, or whether that is about the 10 extra pounds, or whether that is about, the way you sound. It's just love yourself. Love yourself. Look at yourself. Look at your own self every single day in the mirror and say, hi, you're beautiful. I love you. You have to love yourself in order to be in a wholesome, loving relationship. Right? And so what happens along the way on this journey is that we enter into relationships that reflect back the stuff that we're ready to move through, the stuff that we're ready to work with. And so that's why relationships get challenging, is because that other person is showing us what we need to see. All right. Sorry, 2 cards just flew out. I'm having a look at them. We have the King of Swords and the Knight of Cups. That's pretty funny, eh? You asked a love question and we've got two court cards jumping out at me. Knight of Swords and the King of Swords and the Knight of Cups. I will pull another card, don't you worry. Feels really sensual. That night feels really, really sensual. It feels like that kind of relationship where you get lost in each other's physical bodies, where you get lost in each other's, the sweetness, the emotion, the romance of the relationship. And then all of a sudden something shifts and it's like the lights get turned on and one of the two of you gets, stuck in your head. But I really like this King of Pentacles, this King of Air here too, because it feels more connected to spirit in this deck. And all of the incense sticks in this deck really make me feel that this relationship will be that lovely balance between the youthful, sensual playfulness and that balance of that connection to the element of air, the beauty of the element of air. It's not always a bad thing, that King of Swords. Look at those big blue eyes too. Those are pretty piercing, big blue eyes. Okay, what else we got here? Oh, I've got the deck. Okay. Sorry, I was shuffling the card upside down, but I've got the 10. So this next relationship is going to be quite a shift for you. It's going to be something completely different than you are used to. So I want to suggest that you be okay with being in a relationship that is not something you would have normally sought out, right? So to be in a relationship with, to be willing to enter into a relationship with a different kind of soul. Another court card. Okay, so I'm going to tie this together. Wow. This is pretty funny. So, one of the fun tarot exercises is to put all these cards together into one sentence, because you asked about this relationship. This is going to be something that it definitely feels like a change for the better. It feels like something that you might not have ever had the nerve to enter into a relationship before. It feels like such a balanced energy. I've got a page, a knight, and a king, earth, air, and water. So the only thing that's missing is fire. So fire is that, when I'm thinking about a new love energy, like the too much sex kind of thing. But this is very unusual. Maybe you're going to end up in a polyamorous relationship. Maybe that's the change. Okay, I'm going to just stick with these first two cards. So what is coming up for you is a relationship that feels highly, highly balanced, both emotionally and spiritually. So this is the kind of energy that I would it's a very particular kind of soul. It feels somebody who is comfortable with their emotions and their spirituality. So if you are looking for a lumberjack, this is not the kind of energy that's coming next for you. The kind of energy that's coming next is somebody who's way more in touch with their soul and with their spirit and with their emotions. Okay? All right. I'm going to go down to the bottom here. Alrighty. It's so funny. Audrey says, "Oh my gosh, how does she know this?" Laura says, "May I have a question from my..." Okay, may I have a question? So Laura's next. May I have a question from my higher self? I want to just address what Laura... oh, hi, Paula. It's funny, that question. So I was with my mother. I took my mother to see Sylvia Brown, and my mother she's passed. She's crossed over. We never talked about this kind of stuff. She didn't get tarot readings. I don't even think she went to church later on in life. Thanks for the super chat, Ange. Yeah, it was like, she was not a spiritual person. She was really connected to friends and in that way, and she loved her relationships with lots of people. And I took her to see Sylvia Brown, and we were sitting in the audience, and she looks at me and she says, like, how does she know this stuff? How does she know this stuff? It's like, you know what it is? And anybody can do it. Anybody can do this if you just start to listen. You start to listen and you start paying attention. And for me, the biggest shift for me is when I am in tune, and when I was mentioning just, being in touch with cycles and being in touch with the earth. And the more I get out into the forest, the more I listen, the more I eat well, the more accurate all this stuff is, and the faster the downloads come. And I really love doing this as well too, right? It really cheers me. It cheers me up. It makes me feel joyful. I love to work with people and all that kind of stuff. So yeah. Okay. So yeah. Yeah. So when you see the court cards, I'm just looking at Audrey's comment here. When you see the court cards are reflections of energy within yourself. And there's this need to embrace all of these aspects of self, to not allow certain aspects of yourself to dominate, right? That's how we create this internal balance. Anyway, let me get back. Let me get back to the next question. Sorry, I got distracted. It was for Laura. Laura was asking about her higher self. Okay, so Laura, big breath in, big breath out. Laura. Do I know you, Laura? Do I know you? I have a feeling. I don't know. Okay. Well, you go, girl. Your higher self. Okay. It feels like you are struggling to move through this next unveiling, this next reveal, this next peeling away of the next layer of the onion, right? Peeling away the next layer of skin. It feels like you're arguing with your inner self, like you're wrestling, like you're having these conversations with your higher self, almost like it's really, really like it's too much. And so this, like you're fighting this change. You're fighting this change of life. You're fighting this change of environment. You're fighting this change that's coming up for you. And this change that's coming up for you, this next step, this next stage in moving forward is it's like a big leap. It's a really big leap forward, but it is the best thing for you. And a change is as good as I forget what that expression is. So the first card is the 5 of Wands. And then I've got the 10 and the 20. Right? So I've got the 10. And then we're jumping forward to the 20. So that's why I'm saying this is a big leap. Like it's like you're jumping across this big chasm. And you need to let go of this 5 of Wands energy to be more of the flow. In order to make that big leap, there's this, you have to trust. You have to trust that this change, I don't know what this change is. What is this change? What is this about? Seems like today is a day of majors. Okay. I pulled another major card. This is the Hermit. Okay. So in order to allow this change to be revealed, this change which is in your highest good, with this change which is for your greatest good, this change that is probably going to make you feel a whole lot lighter. Like when I see the 10 and the 20, I feel like you're like letting go of multiple layers at the same time. So the reason that the Hermit is there is that so you take that, you create that space for the internal experience for this change to be crystal clear. I don't know if that makes any sense at all. So your higher self wants you to know that this change is for your greatest good. And so whatever that is. And instead of what is this 5 of Wands about? Like, what is this? The 5 of Wands, like you have a choice whether you want to engage in this 5 of Wands kind of energy. You know, like sometimes it feels like a play fight, but this feels like an internal, like too much fire internally. It feels like you need to cool yourself down internally. So yeah, like I'm going to be really practical, like be out in the night air, eat cooling foods. You need to kind of balance this fire. You need to calm down. And maybe that's why the Hermit card is here, right? You need to maybe, be by yourself and to cool your jets quite literally so that you can process all this stuff that's coming down for you. But this is really quite something. And if you can kind of take this huge leap from the 10 to the 20 might feel a lot. So be really nurturing and really kind and really good to yourself. And that's partly what the hermit is about, right? It's about that little bit of self-preservation and a little bit of self-protection. Okay, I hope that's really helpful. But pulling 3 majors, please, like, this is confirmation that this is a really important time for you. Okay, so to embrace these changes and not to suppress as you're moving through. Okay, the time is 1:15, so I'm going to, I'll do 2 more readings and then I will, we'll be signing off. So I'm going to go back to the list and where are we at here? Sorry, guys, I'm just trying to figure out where we're at. Oh, it's almost, where are we here? Sorry, I was reading French. Il est presque le midi. Ici, jeudi et Nouvelle-New-Zélande. Oh, you're in New Zealand. Laura is conflicted. So Laura will have to chat privately to gain some clarity around this change. I'm sorry to leave you in conflict, but there is a big change moving forward for you. Okay. So yeah, it was Princess, but I don't see Princess's question. She might not be here anymore. So who was after Princess? Okay. Thanks for doing this, Jen. I really appreciate it. Okay, so I'm going to go to Jen's last comment. Jen's last comment is, I am putting all the next ones at the bottom. Princess is here, yay. And Ange is in Montreal. Liberius, okay. So I'm just waiting for Jen because Jen is the mod and Jen's going to tell me who the last 2 people are. You're welcome, Laura. I hope you can make sense of some of that. And please, while I'm waiting for Jen to catch up with me with, so Jen, I'm just waiting to hear who the last two are and what their questions are. There we go. Princess's question, what does the rest of 2020 hold for me? Okay. So Princess, have you done your year ahead card? Do you know what your year ahead card is? So you take your birth month. So if your birth month is March, that's 3. If you're born on the 20th, that's 2. Or yeah, 2. You usually add up the 2 numbers. So that's 5. And then 2020 is 4. So you add 3 plus, what did I say? 3 plus 2 plus 4. I did a whole video on this. And so when you're looking at, sometimes it's really interesting to look at the dynamics of the year ahead with your actual year ahead card. Okay. All right. So this is for Princess. Princess, can I encourage you to just breathe, please? Hey, and Jen, maybe you can message me later through my website. I would love to ask you a question, if you don't mind. info@integrativehealingwithsadhana.com. Okay, Princess, what lies ahead? Whoa, Princess, 2 aces. Ace of Pentacles, Ace of Cups, and Mother of Swords. I pulled a fourth card too, which is Ten of Pentacles. Okay, so it does feel like new beginnings. There's new things that are coming up for you, both as far as relationship, business, family. We talked about Pentacles earlier in a previous reading, and I don't know what's going on with you, but this Ace of Pentacles, if it's not about business, it's definitely, I really I'm feeling in this environment that we are in right now is that this nourishing of the physical body. And when I see this Ace of Pentacles, the way that it's growing here, and I was talking about gardening earlier, and this real sense, and this is a very much a universal message as well too, is to really, if you've never paid attention to what you eat before, now is the time to nourish your soul by nourishing your body, to nourish your relationships by nourishing your body. You know, nourish your family by having family meals. If you're not the kind of family who sits down at the table and eats together, this is a new beginning, a new opportunity to really reel that in and to dial that in. And because I can't ignore the fact that I have these four cards. The first card is the Ace of Pentacles. The fourth card is the Ten of Pentacles. So it does feel like this is an opportune time if you were considering going ahead and starting a new financial project, this would be an opportune time to do that as well too. And you very, very well may be doing that with a partner, a new relationship, a new, somebody that you love. I mean, to pull two aces, right? So you've got Ace of Cups, Ace of Pentacles, and then the fourth card is the Ten of Pentacles. But what is Mother of Swords doing here with her hands on her hips? So she's either a superhero and she's saying, I've got this. I really, really got this. Or she's standing there in judgment. And you are, listening to yourself saying, you're not good enough. You can't do this. Or you've had that kind of, judgmental mother that has that lingering kind of mental memory of that kind of critical, kind of harsh words and harsh talking, right? And I don't know which way this goes for you, whether, I'm the superhero and I've got this, or, you're not good enough kind of energy. So whatever that is, it's really important that you embrace that. And the Mother of Swords has both of those sides, right? She has that. She's very stern and articulate. And sometimes in her lack of awareness of her emotions, she doesn't realize how harsh those words are. But she is also a superhero. And you are going to need all of those skills to move from the Ace of Pentacles to the Ten of Pentacles. You asked about the remainder of that year. You are going to need to be the superhero. And you're going to need to be articulate. And you're going to need to take charge. And you're going to need to show others that you've got this. Okay. So in order to switch from being hard on yourself to being, more of in that superhero pose is how you're going to get from that Ace of Pentacles to that Ten of Pentacles. That's kind of beautiful. I forgot how much I love this deck. It's actually a really nice deck. Yeah. Okay. So last reading, and I want to thank you all very much for being here today. Tomorrow morning, I'm on Zoom quite a bit these days. I'm doing a lot of stuff for free during this COVID season, if you will. And so tomorrow morning is yoga at 9:00 Pacific Standard Time, and it's the kind of yoga for people who don't practice yoga. So where I live in Gibsons, I teach these two classes the same time. I teach out in the public, but now I'm teaching from my home. These are very mindful kind of classes, lots of breath. They don't move fast. There's not a lot of up and down. You don't have to know how to do a lot of chaturangas. It's very mindful yoga. So those connections are on my link tree on my Instagram profile. And so you can find out what I'm doing there. And they're all for free. Yeah. This deck is this one. There you go. All right, so last question. Jen says, Natalia, now, what should I manifest in my life and stop feeling stuck and confused? What should I manifest in my life to stop feeling stuck and confused? Okay. Stop feeling stuck and confused. Okay, Natalia. Close your eyes for a moment, please. I have a feeling that so I want to ask you, when you ask this question, where do you feel it in your body? Where's your body not moving well? Because where your body is not moving is going to be a clue as to the answer of this question. Did you know that all of the body parts are connected to a planet? And all of the body parts are connected to, energetically to different chakras. And there's a lot of medicine if we can figure out which body part is not moving well. Yeah. Okay, so now I've got distracted from your question. What should I manifest in my life to stop feeling stuck and confused? What should I manifest? Okay. Okay, next thing I want to say to you is now is not the time for manifesting. Everybody out there in Tarot Tube land, okay? Now is not the manifesting time. We need to wait 2 weeks. So you can start to contemplate it. This is a time of the waning moon. And during this 2 weeks, you can be journaling about it. You can start to make a few lists, pros and cons. But manifesting comes around the time of the dark moon, the new moon. Okay, so your actual rituals, your actual ceremonies, your actual, doing the work of the manifesting comes in about 2 weeks. So just keep that in mind. Really important to work energetically with the cycles of the universe. Okay. Sexy lady. Sexy lady. Love this lady. Love this lady. You need to dance. You need to dance. You need to move. You need to bust free on your body. Oh my God. So, you know what? Like, seriously. Remember I was saying, like, where's your body not moving? You need to move your whole body, right? It's like, when the kids do like shake your sillies out or just like spin around or they roll down the hill, the grassy hill, that kind of thing. Like you need to bust your body free and get out of your, I'm really looking forward to reading some of these comments back later. I want to focus on this last reading. So yeah, this is really about shaking your booty. The other thing, so I don't know, for those of you that have this deck, if you look into the silhouettes, there's a lot of beauty in these silhouettes. And in the silhouette of this Queen of Wands, there is a shamanic priestess. There's a native Indian shamanic priestess, First Nations shamanic priestess, and she is in her ritual. She is with the fire. She is nourishing the fire. She's in the ceremony of the fire. And so there really is an embracing of the element of fire. And so again, heating up the body through dance, heating up the body through movement. Oh my God. Look at your next card is the sun. Okay, I hope this is crystal clear, right? This is how you are going to bust out of it. Okay, so I want you to take this really quite literally, is to connect to the element of fire. And you can do that with your food. You can start eating spicier food, you know, all that kind of stuff, but move your body. Wow. Wow, that's so beautiful. So beautiful. Is this out of your comfort zone? The third card is the moon. And so I'm guessing that this moving your body is out of your comfort zone. And so I want to really encourage you to allow yourself to explore why it feels out of your comfort zone. Okay, so the moon, when the moon card comes up, right, it invites us, and here we have the contrast of the sun and the moon. So a whole bunch of things, right? So when the moon card comes up and I'm looking at this, I'm thinking, oh, wow, that is out of her comfort zone. She needs to really explore why she doesn't want to dance naked in the backyard, right? Why she doesn't want to do a hot yoga class or something like that. Why she doesn't want to hop on her bike and ride it up the mountain. What about that makes you feel so uncomfortable? Because it's not just about the physical moving of the body. There's some other piece of that you would benefit from exploring. And, okay, and the other part to your reading is that, girl, you pulled the sun card and the moon card in one reading. So that is like the supreme invitation into that, all of that femininity, right? This is a card of ultimate femininity, that because all of the queens, right, are connected to that element of water. They understand their femininity, what and all that means, and to truly embrace that. So to be as feel as sexy and as powerful in the energy of your fire as you do in your meditation, and to really invite that balance of that lunar and solar energy, right? That's what Hatha yoga means. Like Hatha means sun and moon. Yoga means union. And so this is really like, yay. You've got this, and be brave and move through this, and, you know, like, go for it. This is really very much a message of go for it, and don't let anything hold you back. Okay. So thank you. Thank you for all the thumbs up. It was fun. I really appreciate it. I'm going to go outside now, and I'm going to go see what my kids have done in the garden just beyond the window. If I turn the camera around, oh my God, are they naked? No, they're not naked. Okay. Anyway, thank you. I'm sorry, Liberius, I didn't get to your question, but yeah, I'm definitely not going to do this every week, but I will be on again with live readings in the not too distant future. So stay well, my friends. Namaste. Blessings to everyone.